press briefing on the use of social media by broadcasters in Nigeria. I begin by saying all of us together as an industry, I guess we are in this together. You will have noticed that in the last 2 weeks, the nation again woke to another round of challenge shortly after the challenge of the COVID pandemic. Whereas it can be said that the Nigerian media, especially the broadcast media, discharged its role professionally and most patriotically in confronting the challenge of COVID-19. However, or sadly, the same cannot be said of the coverage of the recent Sars campaign. Monitoring reports available to the Commission indicate that indeed, at the early stages of the conflict, the broadcast industry largely gave a balanced and fair coverage to the issues. This trend, however, became completely reversed when violence was added to the dimensions. Maybe in the eagerness to break news or be pace setters, stations engaged in the very unprofessional attitude of speculatory and unverifiable broadcast. And this is in spite of the provisions of the code, especially provisions 561 and 562 of the Broadcasting Code on unconventional reportage. Section 562 of the code clearly says, the broadcaster shall approach with restraint, keyword restraint, the use of materials from user-generated sources in order not to embarrass individuals, embarrass society, or embarrass organizations, or embarrass governments, or cause disaffection, or to incite to panic or rift in the society at large. Furthermore, Section 563 states that the broadcaster shall verify, keyword verify, news materials emanating from unconventional sources as fake news. Your battery is off. As fake news is prohibited. I hope it doesn't affect your recording.
It is not.
Okay. You want me to take it again?
I think, don't worry, go ahead.
Okay, fine. All right, so I take from 563 that says that the broadcaster shall verify news materials emanating from unconventional sources as fake news is prohibited. And we have monitored and observed that indeed the major networks, including Channels Television, Arise TV, AIT especially, have continued to transmit footages obtained from unverifiable, unauthenticated social media sources, with some of them, quite ridiculously, hooking to social media handles of DJs, disc jockeys, right, in spite of several cautions from the regulator. No doubt, and there's no doubt about it, that these pictures have aggravated, stimulated anger, and heightened the violence that was witnessed during the crisis. We also want to seize this opportunity to condemn in total terms the assault and intimidation of media houses, the burning of TVC Lagos, the temporary brief closure of Channels Television due to security threat, the shutdown of Lagos Television and others are all worrisome indicators of mob threat to the freedom of the press. And we appeal to the public, to the mob, that no nation can grow when citizens muzzle or intimidate the press. We are at the stage of our nation's history when broadcasters have a crucial responsibility for responsive professional broadcast, by picking unverified, unsubstantiated social media sources and repeating the narratives. Our broadcasters have shown gross lack of professionalism and a disposition to be escalators of conflict. While we acknowledge and accept the right of the citizens to freedom of information and access to information, we believe that the whole country has now seen why the spurious and reckless behavior of the social media must not be patronized by the mainstream traditional media. Broadcasters who have therefore dogmatically patronized the social media, I'm sure by now, must be hiding their heads in shame for misleading the public and indirectly or directly promoting violence. It is even strange that when official statements or clarifications are made, some stations still prefer to confer legitimacy on the unverified social media sources. In line with provisions 569 of the Broadcasting Code, which says that the broadcaster shall be held liable for any breach of the code emanating from the use of materials from user-generated sources. The Commission has therefore sanctioned the following stations who were found culpable and liable for infractions regarding these provisions of the code: Arise TV, Channels Television, and AIT. This is to serve as deterrent to broadcasters who deliberately ignore to verify stories before they broadcast. I thank you so much and advise time for absolute caution and discipline on the side of broadcasters. Thank you.